put your hands together for the former Brands Elementary and Quirk Middle School student, which is now Global Communications Academy, and graduate of Hartford Public High School, our superintendent, Dr. Leslie Torres Rodriguez.
Thank you, Leilani. Are you feeling the energy? You know those bees. They know how to bring the energy. Thank you to our premier drumline from Kennelly School. We were having a side conversation here, and Carol Gale said, they're getting better every year. So we are so proud of you, Kennelly Bees. We admire your ability, your bravery, and we're so grateful that you are here along with other bees to help us kick off the year. Good morning and welcome to Convocation 2023. I am your proud superintendent, Dr. Leslie Torres Rodriguez, and I want to thank you for being here and those of you that are joining us in your schools. Welcome to our Mayor Bronin, members of our Board of Education, our community partners, our central office team is here. Many of you from across the district, schools are here as well. A very special thank to our keynote speakers, Teacher of the Year 2023, Melanie Samorsky. And we also have a student keynote speaker, 8th grade student from Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, Shauna K. Sr. Thank you also to all of our student performers. Thank you to our staff who have made this event possible. And I want to also thank the staff here, the team at Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School and Breakthrough Magnet North for generously hosting our convocation. And as I was walking up the steps this morning, I had to pause and reflect on all of the work and the collaboration that took place from staff members to elected officials to our partners throughout our community to make this school, this campus, a reality. Today, we focus our attention to innovation. As part of our efforts to innovate, we decided to rethink how we do convocation this year. We wanted to ensure that, yes, that we had time to come together, ground ourselves in our collective mission, while also allowing staff, our educators, to have more time in their classrooms to prepare for the first day of school. So tomorrow, we know that we open our doors to all of our beautiful and capable students. Each of them, I guarantee you, each one of our students, when they come in, they will bring talents, aspirations, needs, dreams. We know that it is the relationships that you build with students that are key to their success. So together, we value the whole student and their families. We strive every day to provide an inclusive, equitable, rigorously challenging environment, and also we seek to provide the social and the emotional supports that they need. Today, we pause and we celebrate all of you. Our teachers, our paraeducators, our administrators, our social workers, our guidance counselors, our safety officers, our caregivers, our executive assistants, every single one that is part of what I call this ecosystem of support for young people, and our community partners, our families. The work that each of you do, it is challenging work. The load that you carry is heavy. And we want you to know that throughout the year, our district is there to ensure that you are at your best, that you have what you need to do this incredibly important work, invaluable work to provide for our young people. I'd like to acknowledge the newest members, who, by the way, I met Mr. DeGeneres this morning. New staff members, whether if you're a new teacher or a new staff member, can you just stand? That's right, Mark. And those of you that are watching from your schools, we highlight and celebrate you as well. Whether you are new to Hartford Public Schools or you are a returning team member, know that we need your passion, your commitment, and your innovative spirit as we seek to fulfill our mission to make sure that we inspire and we prepare all of our students to achieve their fullest potential in school and out in their communities and later in life. So now, please join me in welcoming our teachers as they are going to sing the national anthem. Welcome, teachers.
Good morning, Hartford Public Schools. Welcome back, Superintendent and all the team at Central Office, to all of our principals, administrators, teachers, para-educators, counselors, everybody who is a part of each of our school communities. Welcome back. We are so grateful for what you do, and it's always such an honor to be with you this morning on Convocation. I know we're doing it a little bit differently, and on one hand, I miss the energy of having all thousands of the Hartford Public Schools team together. On the other hand, to everybody who is watching in their schools together with your team, I know you're going to be ready to get started on the day right after this ends, so I hope that's a nice change as well. I want to say thank you to that incredible Kennelly drum line. Thank you to the teachers for that beautiful rendition of our anthem. And I hope that everybody here this morning, here and watching, got a chance to rest and recharge this summer. I know that many of you were not just resting. I know many of you were working. Some of you were still working in the Hartford Public Schools. Some of you were working elsewhere. But even if you were working, I hope you got a chance just to let yourself recharge and restore, because starting tomorrow, you begin the most important work again that anybody can do anywhere. And over the summer, along with Superintendent and some other folks here, I went to 2 different celebrations that are associated with the Hartford Public Schools. And I just want to share a little bit about both of those. One was the Hartford Promise Scholars Day, where all of the Promise Scholars who are about to head off to college, having kept their attendance up through all their years of high school and Hartford Public Schools and hit that grade point average and going on to higher education with that financial support that Hartford Promise gives. And the other was the credit recovery graduation, which was over at Weaver, for those students who hadn't finished what they needed to finish by the normal graduation but didn't give up. And both of those celebrations were equally inspiring to me, because in both cases, it was a demonstration of how hard our students work, and a reminder that the students you teach, the students you support, in whatever way you do it, are as smart, as capable, as creative as any kids in any classroom anywhere in the country. And in many cases, they've faced and they face bigger challenges to get to the place they want to go. And the reason that those Hartford Promise Scholars were sitting in that room about to head off to college, and the reason that those students from the credit recovery graduation were there on that stage getting their diploma was because of you. And I know it's been a hard few years, and the world turned upside down a few years ago, and doesn't feel like it's quite right yet. And I know there's still lots of challenges that have come with that and have come from that. But as you start this year, I hope that you find energy and a sense of mission and purpose, as I know you do, but I hope you do every day, knowing that the difference between whether your students will be sitting in that Hartford Promise Scholar Day some days down the road about to head off to college or getting their diploma, or not achieving those goals, is this team right here. Is this team of educators who believe in our kids, who don't give up on our kids, who know what they're capable of, and who help them know what they're capable of. So I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. You know, this is my last convocation, but I want to say thank you to every single one of you for choosing to do this work. To those of you who are coming back after decades of service to our kids and to our community, thank you. Thank you for coming back year after year because you believe in our kids. To those of you who stood up before, who are just starting out, thank you for having the courage and the heart to do the most important work around. And our whole city is so thankful to you for what you do. We know it's not easy. We know we ask a lot. We know that you carry a heavy sense of responsibility, and we know sometimes that we ask you to do more than is fair to do. But I also know that the reason you do it is not because you have to do it, but because you believe in our kids. And our city is so thankful for it. And I wish you all the best this year. I wish you as many moments of joy and inspiration as possible. And in those tougher moments, I hope you continue to draw on that well that brought you here to begin with, which is knowing that we've got kids as smart, as capable, as creative as any kids anywhere, and we need and want them to get everything they're capable of doing. So thank you all so much. God bless you all, and have a great year. Go Hartford.
Thank you, Mayor Luke Bronin. Ladies and gentlemen, and distinguished educators, I'm sure you know me by now, and we're about to turn this place up. So when I say fired up, I want you to say ready to go. Fired up? Ready to go! Nah, that was okay for Glastonbury. That's not okay for Hartford. That's not okay for Hartford. When I say fired up, you say ready to go. Fired up! Ready to go! 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 Let's go! Let's go. I'm about to bust out this little shirt. Let me get my dignity back. The mayor is here. Good morning. My name is Pastor A.J. Johnson. I am the Vice Chair of the Hartford Board of Education. And on behalf of the Hartford Board of Education and our esteemed Chair, Philip Rigger, it is my privilege to welcome you, each and every one of you, back to the 2023-24 school year. Make some noise for that, please. Your presence here today signifies not just a return to classrooms, but a rekindling of the flames of knowledge, inspiration, and commitment that burn within each of you. In a world where uncertainty has become the norm, you, our dedicated teachers, have stood as unwavering constants in the lives of our students. When everything else has been in flux, you have been the steady guiding light, leading them through challenges and nurturing their growth. You've embraced change and uncertainty, transforming them into opportunities for learning and growth. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're sitting in this room, you are the architects of dreams, the cultivators of intellect, and the mentors of tomorrow's leaders. As I was getting ready to do this speech today, I woke up and asked my wife, what am I going to say? She said, you should say something like this. Who taught Gandhi how to lead? Who taught Malcolm X how to be radical? Who taught Dr. King to have a dream? And she said it was probably a teacher. You have this responsibility, and I'm excited to share this responsibility with you. Your selfless dedication to the pursuit of education is not only the cornerstone of our society, but also the beacon of hope that lights the way to a brighter future. As we stand here today, let us take a moment to acknowledge those whose efforts often go unnoticed. I want you to hear this. Let us recognize the folks who turn on the lights in the morning. Let us recognize the building staff that never get recognized for their hard work. Let's recognize the behind-the-scenes heroes who keep our educational institutions running smoothly. Your sacrifices, your hard work, your unwavering commitment are the backbone of our schools, and we are deeply grateful for all that you do. Finally, I'm a black preacher, so I'm gonna wrap it up. In these hallowed halls of learning, you're sculpting minds, shaping character, kindling passions. Each lesson you teach, each word of encouragement you offer, each moment of guidance you provide has the power to shape destinies. Your classrooms are not just spaces for learning facts and figures. They are incubators of ideas, arenas of creativity, and sanctuaries of growth. So as we embark on this school year, let us carry forward the flame of enthusiasm that burns within each of us. Let us remember the extraordinary impact we have on the lives of our students, the lasting impressions we leave, the seeds of curiosity we plant, and the doors of opportunity we open. Remember, you're not just teaching subjects, you're igniting passions. You're not just imparting knowledge, you're cultivating wisdom. You're not just shaping minds, you're shaping futures. In closing, let's reiterate our chant, not just words, but as reflection of the fire that burns within us. When I say fired up, you say ready to go. Fired up! Fired up! Fired up! Thank you, educators. Thank you for your dedication. And thank you for all that you do. Now at this moment, I'll take a hand clap. I'll take it. No, keep going. I'm joking. Without any further ado, I would like to introduce one of the greatest freedom fighters that I've seen in the city of Hartford, someone who is always at the board advocating for you. It gets annoying sometimes, but we love her and we listen and we're doing our best. Can we please put our hands together for Ms. Carol Gell?
Thank you so much for that. Definitely fired up, AJ. Definitely feeling the appreciation and love for our mayor. And thank you to our superintendent for getting our teachers up here and showing off the wonderful, wonderful talents that we have in Hartford and our amazing students. And I know we have such talent in every one of our buildings throughout the entire district. Welcome to a new school year. It's amazing that we are in a profession that actually has the ability to start fresh every single year. We get to clean slate, we get to move on. New beginnings, new hopes, new plans, and I know that every one of you has been getting ready for tomorrow when students return, making sure that you have attractive and stimulating classrooms and hallways, that you have the right environments, your learning materials are organized, your offices are organized, seats are assigned, class jobs are laid out, expectations outlined, rosters prepared, and of course, lessons planned. Thank you for all you have done in the last few weeks preparing for tomorrow, and thank you for all we know you will be doing for the next 180 days that students will be in our schools engaging in their education. And I know you're going to make those days great, every one of them. Whether you work with elementary, middle, or high school students, whether you're in the classroom providing additional services that students need, or you're essential to the operations of a school building, you touch students' lives every day. You, our school-based staff, are the most important people in the education of our children. Whether you're newly hired or a returning veteran of the system, thank you for choosing Hartford. You are the professional educators, and you know what our students need, whether that's an encouraging word, a new responsibility, a modified lesson, a teachable moment, a caring smile, sometimes a warning look, or the setting of a clear boundary, passion always for what you are teaching, and compassion for your students. We know that teaching involves more than a curriculum. It involves the whole child. And the best planned lesson is useless unless children are ready to pay attention to it. So you become part cheerleader. I see the pom-poms out there. Know you're ready to go. You're part mentor, you're part parent, you're part facilitator, and you have the power to make students feel smart, to feel that they belong. You make students believe in themselves and feel loved. These are the intangible qualities that educators bring to their students every day. In the words of Maya Angelou, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will always remember how you made them feel. So, if you are an administrator, make your staff feel appreciated. And if you are that staff, make your students feel loved. You are the spark that ignites a desire to learn and to grow in your students. Embrace the power of education, empower yourself, empower your students, and the possibilities are endless. And I just want to take a second to introduce Stuart Beckford and Corey Moses from HFT, and know that we as the Hartford Federation of Teachers are with you every step of the way this year. Have a great year.
I am now very, very proud to introduce our first keynote speaker, an 8th grade student from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Middle School, Ms. Shauna K. Sr. Shauna, come on up.
Good morning, students and esteemed faculty.
My name is Shauna K. Sr. I hope you all had a wonderful summer break and are in tip-top shape and excited for this upcoming school year. I'm here to give a speech on 4 main individuals that inspired me throughout the past year to learn more and to always believe that knowledge is power and that sky is the limit. See, the truth is, out of all the staff in the building, these 4 individuals stood out to me the most. Don't get me wrong. All of the staff at Martin Luther King Social Justice Middle School have inspired me to be a better version of myself. And no one is more special than the other, but these 4 staff members outdid themselves in making sure that I'm always on the right track in academic, social, and disciplinary areas. Each of these individuals play a significant role in inspiring me to do better. And if you're here today and you're not already standing, please stand for a brief moment as I say your name so that the audience can see the faces of the potters behind this play. And if you're here and watching, well, if you're watching, give yourself a pat on the back, knowing that you did a great job. These people include our very own Dr. Doreen Crawford, Mrs. Danielle Mullings, Mr. Matthew Chifo, and Mr. Sean Davis. I chose Dr. Crawford as one of these individuals because in many ways, she has inspired me to realize my full potential and to never give up. She would always say to me, and I quote, "A Jamaica you come from, and you have to make your mother on fire, bro." One of the ways in which Dr. Crawford has inspired me is to learn how to advocate for myself. I remember once I was too scared to speak up for myself, and I asked my mom to speak to Dr. Crawford for me about an issue I was having. Dr. Crawford bluntly told my mom she didn't want to hear it from her because Shauna Kay knows where my office is and she should learn how to talk for herself. And after that day, I somehow got the courage to speak up for myself and others too. I can say this without hesitation, that someday in the future, I will look back at my middle school experience and say that she was one of the reasons why I'm here today. The second person that has inspired me is our vice principal, Mrs. Danielle Mullings. She had a big influence on me during this past school year. Ms. Mullings has taught me some very valuable lessons during the past school year. When Mrs. Mullings was first introduced to us, she spoke about her hopes and aspirations to make this school better. And even though she didn't say this to me personally, I learned from her that if you put your mind to something, you can do great things, because she most definitely achieved her goal this school year, and so will I for the upcoming school year. She might not know this, but she is one of the people I look up to. When it comes to Mr. Chifo, he made the classes more interesting with different stories almost every day and his dad jokes. His dad jokes definitely contributed to the lessons. Mr. Chifo teaches 7th grade English, and boy, I tell you, his dad jokes can light up any room. Even though most of the time it might not relate to the topic at the moment, it definitely gives us motivation to learn. I recall one of the time I was a little upset, and by a little I mean a lot, after coming from lunch, and his class was next. So as soon as I walked into the room, I was greeted by a dad joke, which automatically rerouted my day, and that is one of the reasons why I respect him. He also taught me that just because I don't understand something doesn't mean I'm supposed to give up. For example, I came into 7th grade not wanting anything to do with nonfiction books. And over the course of the 7th grade year and a couple of dad jokes later, I hate them less. So his encouragement, both with everyday life and studies, helped me change my approach on these type of books. And last but not least, Mr. Sean Davis. He has made math more fun and understandable for all of us. He would always say, "Don't put the numbers with the letters," when talking about a specific topic. When Mr. Davis says, "Don't put the numbers with the letters," His motive is to help us better understand or remember what to do when it comes to taking a test on that specific topic. One of the ways Mr. Davis has made math fun is by letting us play a game called Trashketball. Trashketball is basically used as a review, and it also captures our attention even more. When we play Trashketball, we have 4 separate teams. Each team gets to pick a category and how many points they want it for. So basically like Jeopardy. And if the team gets the question right, they pick a shooter. That person has a choice whether to stand behind one of 3 rulers. The first ruler is the closest to the trash can. The second is further away than the first. And the third is considered the 3-point line. With that game, we are both able to review past topics and have fun. One thing that these 4 exemplary people have in common is that they're all good educators, and they care about the future and development of their scholars. If I'm being honest, they are great at what they do already. All I can suggest for them is to keep up the good work. They inspired me by showing that even though life has its ups and downs, you can still get through it if you put your mind to it. I can say that I was definitely a different person before I met these 4 people. I was shy, stuck up, and terrified of public speaking. And now I'm on this stage in front of a big audience and those who are watching, giving a speech thanking these 4 and more individuals for putting in the extra effort and making sure I came out of my comfort zone in the best ways possible. I can definitely say that this is not my first time being motivated to step out of my comfort zone. For example, performing in front of the whole school was never something I'd ever think to do. And look at me now. Every chance I get, I grab it with both hands. As my mom would say, opportunity is a man with a heavy brush top. If the front passes you, you don't ever try to grab the back, because you won't catch it, because it done pass you, so nobody try to grab a ticket. These 4 individuals have gone above and beyond in helping out each and every student in the Martin Luther King Social Justice Middle School community. Whether it involves family, education, or just mental health, they've made sure that they were there for each and every student. This is what makes us a family here at Martin Luther King Social Justice Middle School. So without further ado, I would like to say thank you to all of our teachers here at Martin Luther King Social Justice Middle School for doing a tremendous job. And now I would like to hand the stage back over to you, Dr. Leslie Torres Rodriguez. Please give her a round of applause.
Shauna Kay, you didn't get to see that they were standing and clapping for you. Just letting you know. Oh, she's coming back. I am so proud to serve as the superintendent in a district where Shauna Kay, you are one of our young leaders. Thank you for sharing and for representing our community. She truly exemplifies how all of you can make a difference and an impact in our young people's lives. Shauna Kay shows us that our students are definitely capable to show their talent, their resilience, their passion for learning. When all of that is combined with dedicated, expert staff like the ones that she celebrated, I hope that you feel the same sense of hope and optimism that I feel. And I hope that those feelings carry us into the new year with a renewed sense of purpose. You know, I think it was the mayor that was talking about 3 years past, right, pandemic, and it's starting to feel like it's a more stable educational environment. I think it should also serve as an opportunity to do things a little differently. All of it in service of our students. We learned a lot through the pandemic about what our students need, some of the root causes that underlie their challenges, their struggles, what works, what doesn't work. And now, with all of that gained knowledge, it's time to continue to develop creative and innovative solutions to better serve our young people. Hartford Public Schools is a little different when you think about other districts, right, in our state and even across our country. We do face significant challenges. Over 86% of our students are either multilingual, have a disability, or are living in poverty. We collectively face the brunt of these systemic inequities, and our test scores don't really show what our students are truly capable of, nor should those assessments, right, those summative assessments, be the only indicator of student progress. Our young people are much more than a single summative data point. Traditional systems that might work, or traditional strategies that might work in other districts, aren't always the best solution for us. But the diversity, the resilience of our students, it's what also separates us from neighboring districts. And those students, our students, demand that we think a little differently about how we deliver high-quality teaching and learning. We know, our students know, that we can't continue to do the same things and expect a different result. We also know that some of the resources that were in place during the pandemic, they still are in place, right? Those like the pandemic relief funds, they will not be in place in the future. So it is time to think about how can we be competitive in this school choice ecosystem? How can we provide supports and opportunities for our students, right, that our students need, that they deserve, while also dealing with a budget system that puts Hartford at a disadvantage when you consider other communities. There are several ways in which we can do that, and ways that all of us, no matter the job title, the school that you're in, that all of us can contribute to a new way of thinking and educating. For example, the district recently secured a contract with Modern Classroom that will give teachers the support and the ability to rethink how they work with students with various learning levels or social emotional needs. The program uses existing technologies like Google Classroom and videos in new and exciting ways in the classroom. This will give students it will give students an ability to kind of learn in a self-paced course that better fits their needs, but it'll also allow some of our teachers to meet the needs of the students in an individualized way. Now, some of our teachers have already taken Modern Classrooms training, and we've received some really good feedback about it. And so this year, there'll be more opportunities for more teachers to take part if they'd like to. Another example, our STEM department is innovating constantly. They're implementing our Scholastic eSports program in middle and high schools to reimagine how video gaming technology can be used to help our students develop important skills like collaboration, strategic problem solving, critical thinking. The STEM department is also exploring how artificial intelligence can help educators and students with custom learning experiences. We also need our students heavily involved in our innovation because, as I mentioned earlier, they know what they want and they also have an idea of what works for them and what they also need to succeed. And they're not afraid to articulate their recommendations. Back in May, we held our youth summit with district leaders, community partners, and nearly 100 of our high schoolers. They discussed their desire for more hands-on educational experiences and more career exposure. What we heard overwhelmingly from our young people is that they want their voices to be heard. They want more agency and more say in their education. This is why this year, we're bringing some students back together again and asking them to help us design a school. They'll think about what would help them learn and what they think will be better in terms of preparing them to thrive in this very rapidly evolving world. Listening to our students, really listening, is going to be a key component of our innovation strategy. So I encourage all of us here to continue to listen to our young people, like Shauna Kay, and do everything possible to empower them to share their beliefs, their convictions, their ideas. We're also taking a deeper dive into our strategy and focus on innovation with 5 schools. These 5 schools apply to be part of the Hartford Innovation Network, or INET. The founding INET cohort includes Buckley High School, Maria Sanchez School, Betances STEM, Betances Learning Lab, and Breakthrough Magnet North. These schools are beginning year 1 of a multi-year professional development journey, which will lead to innovative practices, programs, and learning that will benefit our entire district. They will focus on the research and information gathering to understand the current state of their schools and discover potentially new school models. They will engage with teachers, community, students, and more throughout the process. Their input will be so important as they have already analyzed district-wide surveys so they can understand, we can understand and gather communities' priorities when it comes to innovation. Then they're going to put those ideas, strategies, and programs into a pilot so we can see what has the biggest impact on student outcomes, on engagement, and growth. Now, while the word innovation may sound exciting to some, I know it can perhaps be a little scary, right? Change, I know, can cause some apprehension. Doing something new can potentially be scary. It can also open new possibilities and uncover things that we never even dreamed of. When I think about this, I think about a recent experience that I had while scuba diving at night. Now, I've been a scuba diver for 27 years. I'm an advanced diver. I've gone pretty deep into the ocean, but I've never gone night diving, though I've wanted to for 27 years. Admittedly, I was very, very afraid of doing that for 27 years. You know, I just didn't know what would be lurking down beneath the pitch dark ocean. The unknown was extremely frightening for me. So I decided to finally do it, and it was more eye-opening than I could have imagined. Yes, I discovered creatures that I never thought that I would see. But I also experienced feelings and emotions that were so powerful. I can still feel some of those emotions. Like the moment when I looked all around and I couldn't see my son. He had just faded into the darkness. He was diving with me. And a deep sense of fear that took over me for about 5 seconds. Nonetheless, really deep sense of fear. I did. He emerged. He was there. Or the sense of wonder when I was intently flashing my light at the bottom of the floor of the ocean, and I saw an octopus emerge and camouflage back. One of my favorite animals under the water. Or the kindness and the pride that I felt after it was all done, and my son says to me, "How does it feel, Mama, to do something that you've wanted to do for 27 years?" I would have never seen, felt, or experienced those things if I had not dared to just take that step, that decisive step, right, to go into the dark ocean. Now, I'm not calling you to all scuba dive at night, but what I am saying is I'm calling on you to just take that one step, dare one step to innovate, to do something a little differently. I'll be the first to admit that we don't know what all the outcomes might be, and there will be bumps in the road. or, as you're diving down into the ocean. But if there's something that we learned in the past few years, is that there's a resilience, right, in the human spirit. There's an adaptability, and there's a commitment to continuous improvement. And we as a system will be more prepared to make progress. But only through our exploration will we be able to uncover the best possible learning environments and methods for our students. And again, I want to be clear that innovation isn't limited to the INET cohort of schools, nor to new advances in technology. Innovation is about changing the way we see and do things to achieve better outcomes. But the call to urgency to innovate is now because the pace of progress has accelerated in the last few decades. We went from the industrial age to an information age in the blink of an eye. And the advances in technology have come at a quicker pace in the last couple of decades. Right? The first iPhone, I think, was released in 2007. And we were lucky back then if we could download, right, a few songs. Now, we have supercomputers in our pockets or right on our wrists. Let's think about that pace. The pace of advancement and what that means for our young people. By the time our kindergartners finish school, the world will be a completely different place. This is now the innovation age. And we have to prepare our young people for that change, or we will be left behind by the pace of progress. In the end, I do believe that our collective effort to innovate, our innovative spirit, I do believe we have one, will lead to groundbreaking, highly effective schools that position our young people to be highly competitive, influential members of society, and allow you all, our educators, to showcase your talent, dedication, and determination. So when you encounter an obstacle in the classroom this year, perhaps one of our young people, right, a student might struggle, whether they might struggle with a concept, or they're unable to complete their assignment, they're showing up in a way that seems disruptive. I ask that you innovate. I ask that you think about what can you do just a little bit differently to help that young person succeed. Because I do believe, and I want you to remember, that every one of our students is capable of achieving. But we need to change, in some ways, the way that we see and do things to help our students meet their goals. I want to now ask that you help me welcome Martin Luther King. They're ready to go. Social Justice Middle School students, led by their music teacher, Ronald Acosta, and Lance James from Hartford Performs, our partners at Hartford Performs, as they perform Funga Alafia, which is a West African song that means welcome and good health. What an introduction to our next keynote speaker. We are fortunate enough to have this extraordinary person. We are fortunate to have this extraordinary person as an English language arts teacher at Sports and Medical Sciences Academy, where she has dedicated her professional life to the children of Hartford Public Schools. Though Ms. Zamorsky teaches ELA, she decided to bring the SMSA video production studio back to life. And in teaching her students the crafts of live studio production, recording, and editing, she has given her students new and engaging ways to share their voices. Ms. Zamorsky also decided that she and her students would reopen their closed school library and media center. She created an internship that allowed the students to run the library circulation and made the vibrant space her classroom. Please put your hands together for this incredible teacher, quite renegade who kind of thinks on her feet, goes above and beyond, reinventing the educational space for her students, who listens, understands, and guides the students, and is beloved. They love their teacher. Ms. Melanie Zamorsky, our 2023 Teacher of the Year. Please join us.
Thank you, Dr. Torres-Rodriguez, for those really kind words. Good morning, Hartford Public Schools. Hi to my friends at SMSA who are watching. Welcome to the new school year. This year marks the beginning of my 19th year in teaching, all at SMSA here in Hartford. When I was asked to deliver this charge to the teachers over the summer, I have to be honest when I say I spent a lot of time reflecting and not really coming up with a lot of cohesive thoughts. Fortunately, or unfortunately, depending on how you want to look at it, my 11-year-old daughter started taking pitching lessons. When we practiced, she was frustrated and disappointed when she didn't throw a perfect strike. I wondered why she was so hard on herself and so quick to want to give up. I couldn't help thinking of my students who have similar attitudes when skills or assignments don't come easy to them. The response is often close enough, or I'm not even going to attempt it because I might get it wrong. So what is the common factor? I've concluded that the problem isn't just apathy on the part of today's youth, but the fear of failing. So what can we as teachers do to make our students risk takers and still grow in the event of failure? Failure is an uncomfortable word for our students. It conjures ultimatums like repeating classes or even not graduating. But in failure lives the opportunity for growth. It can teach valuable lessons a graduate needs before they leave our doors. Students need to be able to function as part of a team by assuming and adjusting their roles through experiences. They need to find innovative solutions to problems in their everyday lives by posing questions and thinking metacognitively. They need to be able to successfully communicate with others by engaging in conversations with peers and adults and taking social cues from that discourse. In order to do this, we need to find room in our curriculum to include opportunities for students to collaborate and lead their own projects. Teachers need to encourage students to advocate for themselves and be able to drive discussions with others. Students need to feel comfortable to explore issues that matter to them and share those issues with the greater community. Students need spaces for choice and voice to bring culturally relevant issues that reflect the diversity of our community. Most importantly, we need to recognize that our students have something to say and help them be brave enough to say it. Classrooms should be spaces where they can feel safe to learn, explore, fail, reflect, retry, and discover on their own. Our ultimate goal as educators should be to make students feel confident in their ability to be successful in life. They build that confidence from overcoming failures. These experiences will exponentially benefit their future. I've been a varsity softball coach for most of my teaching career, and if you know softball or baseball, you know that a hitter is considered accomplished if they're batting over 300. This means that 7 out of 10 attempts at the plate, they fail. But great hitters are learning from each failed at bat. They learn what a pitcher is throwing, they make adjustments on their swing, and they build confidence in their approach. Students do not perform if they fear failure. Hartford Public Schools can build student agency by creating a safe space where they can learn to be resilient and overcome. So here's my charge to you this year, teachers of Hartford Public Schools. Have the courage to create situations where the process is just as important as the outcome. Help your students build confidence by giving them a space to share their ideas, passions, and energies without being afraid to fail. Show them that if they just keep swinging, eventually they will put one in play or even hit one out. Thank you so much and have a wonderful school year.
Well done. Great charge. I want to thank you all for being with us today and for focusing on innovation. I have said it and I will say it again. I believe in Hartford Public Schools. I believe deeply in our beautiful and our capable students. I believe in each and every one of you. I believe in all of us. Let's make the 2023-2024 school year a positive and successful one for all of our students, for all of us, for all of Hartford Public Schools. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day and year.